twilight of the dead glistened across my gun's barrel. I couldn't escape the past as I record the gunshots echoing in my mind. I record the people who've been on the receiving end of its destruction. The criminals, the murderers, and even the innocent. Maddie Swan wasn't going to escape me. I was still a cop at that time and planned on putting that thieving, murderous slimeball behind bars once and for all. As he fled through the streets, he was firing his gun at me. I ducked for cover and tried to return fire. And then that's when he grabbed her. Without any real pause or hesitation, I tried to take a shot at him. I was too focused on taking him down. And that's when she was hit. She fell to the ground so softly, like the angels themselves were placing her gently on the ground. In the distance, I saw Maddie stop his running as he saw me run to her aid. He laughed as he continued making his escape. I left the force and became a private eye, hoping to get away from any real responsibility. And it worked. Until I heard the door knock. I wondered who was on the other side of the door. Was it Maddie Swan? Did he track me down? I knew the only way to get the answer was to see for myself. And there she was, the dame that was to be the beginning of my end.
Hi, my name's May.
Her name was May, but I never once called her that, for in my mind, her name was pure, unadulterated sex on legs. So you're the dame that wants to hire me. We'll take a seat. The swinging of her hips was like a pendulum, and it hypnotized me with every step. I could tell she would be trouble, but I didn't care.
My brother was killed by a man last week, but the police can't help me. They said that my statements sound fishy.
So then what happened?
I was home alone.
She told me how she was asleep the night it happened. She heard her brother's screams coming from the other room. When she checked on him, she saw the carnage and destruction that had just occurred. There was blood and body parts scattered all over the place. Her brother was pulled apart, limb from limb, like a jigsaw puzzle that would never be complete again. She saw, in the corner of the room, a tall, robed figure. His face was grey and motionless. His eyes were as cold as steel and as empty as a canyon.
So can you help me, please? I heard you're the best with these tricky cases, and you can name your price, because money doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter? Well, that's a first. Never met a woman who'd say such a thing.
Look, whatever it is you want, it's yours, okay? It's yours.
Sorry.
What is it that you want?
Her lips were made to be kissed. She tasted like my wildest dreams had been dipped in sugar and brought to life in reality. Her body was warm, soft, and begging for my skin to be held against her own.
Come back to my place. There's some things I need to miss. Okay.
You never ever know love like this.
She lay there ever so peacefully as I got ready to leave. It was wrong to have been with her, but at the same time it felt so right.
You never know love. It's true. it's true, it's true.
Her touch was so sensual, so warm. Warm enough to melt butter on a cold winter's day. But I knew I had to go. I have to go.
No, please, stay a bit longer. I'm afraid.
Any man in their right mind could not resist such an offer, but my mind was elsewhere, thinking about the past, and the girl I accidentally killed. What's that?
That's just a silly old relic. It's supposed to have spiritual powers or something.
I was not a man to believe in voodoo, witchcraft, and all that hocus pocus, but there was something about the skull. It gave off a strange feeling when I touched it. There was a vibe about it, like it was not meant to be disturbed by the living. What's going on?
My parents left me and my brother a vast amount of money when they died, and let's just say I wasn't too keen on sharing it all. So I went to look for something to help with my problem, and that's when I saw the skull in the antique store and heard of its legend.
The robed man was not a man at all, but a spirit. A demon from the far depths of hell, awaiting the commands of its new master.
I heard that the lawyers of my parents' estate were going to hire you just to see if I had any involvement with my brother's death, and I figured I just had to get to you first.
I knew I had no choice but to kill her. She was corrupted with greed, and if I did not shoot her, then I would surely be killed. Apparently I had a fistful of bullets. Kill her! With no one to inherit the money, the parents' fortune was donated to charity. The police never did end up finding out what happened to May and her brother. I was surprised that the police never came to my door to ask me questions. Surely they would have connected me to that fateful night some way, somehow. But they didn't. Now it was in my hands, the tools of destruction and the fruit of ultimate power. What would I use it for? What would I do next? So many possibilities, so many opportunities. I wondered who was at the door. Was it Maddie Swan? Did he finally track me down? I knew the only way to get all the answers was to see for myself.